Story 1. It depends on how long after I eat that they kill me. If it's within the hour, fettuccine alfredo. I am severely lactose intolerant. Story 2. The menu knew what was happening. Margot, you know what I'd really like? Chef Slowick. Tell me. Margot, a cheeseburger. Chef Slowick, we could do a cheeseburger. Margot, a real cheeseburger. Not some fancy, deconstructed, pretentious creation. A real cheeseburger. Chef Slowick. I'll make you a very good, very traditional cheeseburger. Margot, I don't think you can. Chef Slowick. I'll make you feel as if you're eating the first cheeseburger you ever had. The cheap one your parents could barely afford. Margot, show me. Chef Slowick. How do you like it? Margot, medium American cheese. Chef Slowick. American cheese is the best cheese for a cheeseburger because it melts smoothly. Margot, how much will that cost? Chef Slowick. $9.95. Margot, does that come with fries? Chef Slowick. Niels? Chef Niels. Yes, chef? Chef Slowick. Is the fryer still on? Chef Niels. Yes, chef. Chef Slowick. Crinkle cut or julienne? Story 3. 20 Texas Roadhouse biscuits with a pint of cinnamon butter. A 30-ounce steak cooked medium rare. A large sweet tea, and collard greens. Story 4. If they can cook Persian food, I would like Korshtefezingen. If not, I would prefer lamb shank with roasted vegetables and mashed potatoes. I might have to cook my own last meal. Story 5. Garden salad with blue cheese dressing. Tomahawk steak, medium. King crab legs. Lobster tail. Baked potato with an oiled and salted jacket, butter, sour cream, and chives. Blueberry cheesecake. Story 6. Ribeye steak, medium rare. Baked potato with butter and sour cream. Steamed broccoli. I have already contemplated this. Story 7. Gnocchi prepared by my mom is not something she traditionally cooks. It's simply the kind you put in a frying pan with butter, and it's ready in 5 minutes. However, every time my mom makes it, she forgets about it, resulting in one side being burnt and the other undercooked. Even though they're not perfect, I am always grateful that my mom takes the time to make me food, even though she is busy. Story 8. A couple of bottles of whiskey and a pack of cigarettes. Give me a chance to go out the way I wanted to when I thought there was no point to all this. Let me allow what I love to consume me. Story 9. I was watching a show called Common Side Effects recently. In one episode, a federal agent asks another agent about their desires and fantasizes about what they would have. She responds by saying, "You actually wouldn't. This prison. You don't get whatever you want. You get something they already have." So the real answer is probably cafeteria spaghetti. Story 10. Milkshake, cheeseburger, pizza, and mac and cheese. I'm not severely lactose intolerant, but it does make me gassy. Give me the needle and I'll give you the gas. Story 11. My mom's cooking includes white rice with chicken curry, chickpeas, cooked squash, and parde on the side. Story 12. A large plate of spicy butter chicken with garlic naan, crispy fries on the side, and a slice of warm brownie with vanilla ice cream. If I'm going out, I'm fully embracing comfort mode. Story 13. Mozzarella sticks, onion rings, garlic parmesan chicken, and Mountain Dew. I just hope they execute me soon after and don't leave me suffering. Story 14. I'm actually not on death row, but I'm starving in my kid's karate class. So kind of the same. I'd love a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich right about now. Story 15. If I am about an hour away from death, I will order the hottest and spiciest food I can find. My stomach cannot handle it, and I have always wanted to eat spicy food because it smells so good. However, every time I have tried, I end up spending hours in the bathroom afterward. Story 16. Southern-style biscuits with homemade sausage gravy, bacon, and eggs with Tabasco sauce. I won't get indigestion if I'm dead. Story 17. A5 Wagyu steak, loaded baked potato, Caesar salad, cherry Coke, and Dairy Queen ice cream cake for dessert. Story 18. You are on death row. You have 1 hour left. What would you do? If you were on death row, what would be your final request? What would be your last meal? Story 19. Some basic Chinese food, perhaps French fries with chicken wings, but the most important would be a fine wine from a year of my choosing. That year would be 2070. Story 20. The Whitney Wings at Brick and Barley in Tempe, Arizona. I wrote a review for the bar, and the owner promised to take care of me if it happens. Story 21. One spicy chicken sandwich from each of Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Wendy's, and Dave's Hot Chicken. Additionally, I will try a handmade spicy chicken sandwich from Joshua Weissman so I can personally tell him in my final moments that it's obviously not as good, and nobody likes someone who tries too hard. Story 22. Cheeseburger, French fries, and a Coke, followed by a milkshake and a laxative as a final gesture to the warden. Story 23. Panang curry with shrimp and white rice, spice level 3. Mongolian beef from P.F. Chang's. 15 pieces of salmon sashimi. Spicy salmon onigiri. Fresh apple juice. Crispy cold Dr. Pepper. My late mother's fried fish, fries, hush puppies, and coleslaw, which she used to make only on my birthday. Chili's molten lava cake. I'm going to break the chair. Story 24. I'm just going to get Olive Garden. Their salad, zuppa toscana, and chicken alfredo with broccoli. Oh, I can't forget the breadsticks and the Andes chocolate mint. Story 25. Depends. Are we keeping it realistic and saying you can only have the item currently on the market, meaning no discontinued snacks? Story 26. My ideal meal is no longer made by the place I loved, but it would be chicken capellini from Pizza Hut. Story 27. Medium rare steak, home fries, 3 eggs, a side of corned beef hash, coffee, orange juice, and a glass of red wine. Very rarely do I find a diner where I can order that, stay for about an hour, and take my time eating like a king. It's glorious. Story 28. Any spicy food that causes diarrhea. Just before I am about to die, I will have an accident and leave them a big mess to clean up. Story 29. A sweet and spicy bacon burger on Texas toast with a large fry and a Dr. Pepper. The burger must be medium well with crispy edges. The sauce needs to be the perfect amount of spread without making the bread soggy. The fries are the classic Wendy's sea salt fries, and the Dr. Pepper should be straight from the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco. Story 30. Apparently, the American president pardons a turkey for Thanksgiving. I hope the saying is true and you really are what you eat. Story 31. The chair needs replacement, and once they do, I will eat that one as well because they are legally required to provide me with another meal. They do not want you to know about this. Story 32. I would choose a ribeye steak cooked medium rare, biscuits with sawmill gravy, green bean casserole, and a pan cookie with vanilla ice cream. Story 33. Lobster with melted butter, fried chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, sushi, white rice with soy sauce, and a couple of slices of plain pizza, margarita pizza, and vodka along with a milkshake. Story 34. Olive Garden breadsticks. Rare steak because I've wanted to try that. Boiled crawfish and crab that are peeled for me. Sushi, caviar, and crawfish étouffée. Several of these items upset my stomach, so it would depend on how soon after consuming them. They can be quite intense. Story 35. I thought about this a lot. A French baguette, salted butter, a fountain soda, and a Hershey chocolate bar. Story 36. The seared carcass of every offender. I don't plan on eating them. I just plan on leaving the world a better place than I found it. I'll let the jury determine what constitutes an offender for my last meal. Story 37. Huevos Benedict with extra hollandaise sauce, a side of grilled onions and mushrooms, a pint of ground cherries, and some scallion pancakes. I don't think I could finish it all, but I'd try. Story 38. Scaramucci's tortellini and Botto's sweet Italian sausage covered in Villa di Roma's gravy. Story 39. A 2-liter stew made of Brussels sprouts, broccoli, beans, asparagus, and thick milk. I'm going out with a bang. Story 40. A large greasy doner kebab on naan, with salad and hot sauce, accompanied by a large portion of fries and a 2-liter bottle of full sugar cola. I enjoy it once a month as a treat, and it tastes amazing, but I definitely feel unwell for about 12 hours afterward. Story 41. Pepperoni, bacon, and ham deep dish pizza with a Dr. Pepper, Southern-style macaroni and cheese, and a ribeye steak cooked medium well. If I had to choose only one or two items, it would be the Dr. Pepper and the steak. Story 42. Large meat feast pizza, cheesy chips, and a free garlic bread should be free even if I'm not paying. Story 43. 2 dozen raw oysters, bun bohue with extra chili oil, salmon, tuna, yellowtail and scallop sashimi, grilled pork belly, cabeza tacos and lengua tacos with extra salsa verde, crawfish boil, tiramisu. Story 44. Caesar salad, a personal-sized margarita pizza, a slice of cheesecake with raspberry drizzle, and 2 ice-cold cans of Dr. Pepper. Story 45. Large number 1 combo meal from McDonald's with an M&M McFlurry because the inner child is going to be scared to walk the mile. Story 46. I heard a guy got to eat while watching all of the Lord of the Rings movies, so I would have a 6-piece bucket from Kentucky Fried Chicken, a couple of Bacon Kings from Burger King, and a strawberry shortcake for dessert while watching all 8 of the Harry Potter movies. Story 47. Steel-cut oats take a long time to prepare. By the time you realize this, it will be too late. You will need a stay of execution to finish them, and me. Story 48. In-N-Out Double-Double animal style with extra cheese and chopped chilies. Cajun fries from Five Guys. Peach ice cream shake. Various fancy cheeses. Bruschetta. I love dairy, but it makes my insides feel uncomfortable. After death, my body is going to have a strong odor. Story 49. Ribeye, lobster mac and cheese, lobster tail, onion loaf bread with cooked garlic cloves, shrimp cocktail with St. Elmo sauce, wedge salad with egg and blue cheese, and a gallon of a specific beer. Story 50. Fettuccine carbonara with a nice sweet red wine, ham and cheese arancini, and creme brulee for dessert with a nice white port. Story 51. A pot of the greasiest spicy chili ever made with beef rib meat. It stiffens and destroys my stomach, but it's also my favorite meat. If it's killing me, I'm making it their problem too. Story 52. I would honestly like to share it with my executioners, just to let them off the hook and to apologize to a sympathetic audience for my darkest acts. Story 53. 2 Totino's triple pepperoni pizzas, a bottle of Dr. Pepper, some goldfish crackers, and chocolate cake. Story 54. Access to my favorite Chinese buffet. I usually get noodles, green beans cooked with pickles, teriyaki chicken, Japanese chicken, mushrooms, pork egg rolls, and egg drop soup. I also get bourbon chicken. It's delicious. Story 55. New York strip steak and eggs, 3 poached eggs, gravy, French fries with melted cheese, A1 sauce, ketchup, hot sauce for the yolks and gravy at the end, and toast for dipping. Coffee, water, and a chocolate milkshake. Story 56. I'm having seared foie gras, and I don't care about the morality of it. Clearly, since I'm on death row. Story 57. A burger grilled over charcoal with white American cheese, lettuce, tomato, and onions, thick-cut French fries with the skin still on, an extra-large Mr. Pibb, and a large black and white malted milkshake with a metal cup of extra shake on the side. Story 58. 2-inch ribeye, medium rare, asparagus with béarnaise sauce, tomato salad with Calabrian vinegar dressing, chocolate mousse pie. Story 59. Some sort of vegetarian Asian noodle soup such as udon, ramen, or pho, vegetable dumplings, rice crackers, steamed bun with red bean, sesame balls, taiyaki, pumpkin pie, tapioca pudding, tiramisu. Story 60. I would be shocked if I were able to eat. I suspect I would be terrified, not calmly enjoying my favorite foods. Story 61. Waffle House All-Star Meal, substitute grits for double-covered and smothered hash browns, pecan waffles, and a large sweet tea. Cheesecake Factory banana cheesecake for dessert. Story 62. Warm sourdough, French butter, and perhaps a little pâté for some flair. And yes, I know I may sound pretentious. Story 63. The €2 pizza fritta I had from a street cart in Naples was the best thing that has ever happened to my face. Dessert would be the cappuccino creme brulee they used to make at a restaurant I worked in almost 25 years ago. A cup of Yorkshire tea jam on toast flavor. If they can't get that because it has been discontinued, the Crucia milkshake my granddad used to make for me every Sunday when I was a kid, or a milkshake from the hotel we stayed in when I went to Greece. I still need a starter and a side, something with bacon, UK style. I don't care about carbs. I'll be dead before the calories hit. For the side, the carrots from La Balabusta, a restaurant in my city. Okay, I think I'm done. I can now be killed or appear on the off-menu podcast. Story 64. Steak, medium rare, with garlic mashed potatoes and a variety of vegetables, especially broccoli. But before that, homemade chicken noodle soup. And for dessert, carrot cake with raisins in it. A bunch of my favorites. Oh, and a salad with zesty Italian dressing and lots of cucumbers. Can't forget that. Story 65. Gnocchi flight featuring 3 varieties, a bottle of premium wine, homemade bread and butter, and a Caesar salad. For dessert, I would like a delicious New York cheesecake with black raspberries. Story 66. This question has always baffled me. Who could possibly be concerned with food when they are about to be killed? I just don't understand. Story 67. Filet mignon, garlic mashed potatoes, and asparagus are accompanied by a malbec and preceded by a dirty martini with freshly stuffed blue cheese olives. Story 68. Lobster thermidor with shrimp in a Mornay sauce, garnished with truffle pâté, brandy, and a fried egg on top. Story 69. Probably a mountain of cheese, a jug of milk, and 5 king-sized Reese's peanut butter cups. Because I am lactose intolerant and want to leave the biggest mess possible. Story 70. Sashimi, seaweed salad, rare Merlot cut steak, and a soup flight. A small bottle of silver tequila and a dill pickle snow cone. Story 71. Fried halved artichoke hearts with the choke, served with a lemon, grated Parmesan, and black pepper on top. Can also be accompanied by ramp aioli. Story 72. I want beef shoulder on bacon mash with pickled cabbage and sweet carrots from Makar's Mash Bar. Story 73. I have considered this thoroughly. Starter. Jalapeno cream cheese poppers and garlic bread with cheese. Main cheeseburger and chips with a cola. The cheeseburger must have plenty of melted cheese and grilled onions. Dessert. Warm chocolate fudge cake with vanilla ice cream. Story 74. Taiwanese beef noodle soup, accompanied by braised pork belly, Chinese greens cooked with plenty of ginger, and a generous serving of pork soup dumplings with rice vinegar and ginger for dipping. Story 75. I once read a book about famous convicts' last meals. It was boring because they only allowed foods already available in the cafeteria. So it was never lobster thermidor and creme brulee. It was always choices like hamburgers, macaroni and cheese, and ice cream. Story 76. Fried chicken, but once I finished it, I would request a bottle of 25-year-old scotch. If you want to know where the rest of the bodies are buried. Story 77. Full English tea, gumbo, crawfish boil, meat pies from the gas station on North Rampart in New Orleans, barbecued shrimp, and key lime pie. Story 78. Roast beef, cornbread, fresh green beans, and potatoes with a bit of onion, along with some macaroni and tomatoes. Story 79. Sausage gravy and biscuits, chicken fried steak, chicken fried chicken, and a bowl of white gravy, accompanied by a buttermilk biscuit. I might also have a diet cola as I am watching my figure. Story 80. A thin crust cheese pizza, a salad of my choice, beer, a latte, a pack of cigarettes, marijuana, indica, and ice cream of my choice. Story 81. Chicken and shrimp carbonara from Olive Garden topped with Parmesan cheese, 10 lemon pepper wings, 4 garlic Parmesan tenders, and 4 cups of ranch from Wingstop. Blackened salmon with loaded macaroni and cheese and loaded mashed potatoes. Medium rare steak topped with garlic butter. Loaded cheese fries. Ultimate omelet. 2 lobster tails with a side of melted butter. 10-piece McNuggets with buffalo sauce and 1 large fry from McDonald's. blooming onion from Outback Steakhouse, jerk pork with rice and peas and stewed chicken gravy, garlic knots from Domino's Pizza, chipotle steak and chicken bowl, 6 cans of ice-cold Diet Dr. Pepper, 3 fresh baked chocolate cookies, red forest cake, coffee cake, triple chocolate cookies. Story 82. It depends on whether I am guilty or not. If I am innocent, I will not have an appetite, so I will eat nothing. If I am guilty, I will have Brussels sprouts because I dislike them and consider it the punishment I deserve. Story 83. I have to choose a large plate of shellfish, although I am very allergic. If I don't die from the shellfish, I will be wishing for death to come quickly. Story 84. Homemade chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and white cream gravy, served with a side of fried okra and a pitcher of southern sweet tea. Story 85. How much are you allowed to ask for? A bottle of Coca-Cola, a cup of coffee, an ice-cold lager beer, piccata Milanese, a Big Mac and fries, Swedish meatballs with mashed potatoes and lingonberry jam, and a Ben & Jerry's Oh My, Banoffee pie. Story 86. Thanksgiving dinner includes turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, ham, green bean casserole, candied yams, and cranberry sauce. Story 87. A lobster bisque for starter, a really good steak for the main course, and an aile flottante for dessert, which is a light caramel flan that floats over a vanilla cream bath. Story 88. It depends on whether cannabis is legal where I'm located and how long I have between my last meal and my death. If I have 10 hours or more, I would love to start with cheese sticks or mozzarella sticks, followed by a burger with a fried egg, 2 slices of pepper jack cheese, an avocado slice, grilled mushrooms, arugula, grilled onions, a side of truffle sweet potato fries, and breaded mushrooms. I would also enjoy tofu fried rice with mushroom chicken, tofu skin sushi, a fifth of Woodford Reserve whiskey, a Cuban cigar, and to finish, a chocolate cheesecake with a crunchy chocolate base. Story 89. If they kill me within the first few hours of eating, give me everything with dairy and gluten, cakes, ice cream, pizza, and pastries. Whatever smell leaves my body will take them all down with me. Story 90. Bean and cheese chimichanga with guacamole, sour cream, and hot chipotle salsa. A generous serving of my mom's okra curry, Painter Pakora, a Trappist Roquefort Belgian beer, a large quantity of Reese's peanut butter sticks. Story 91. I'm freshly sober, so I would probably enjoy a lot of good beverages because all my reasons for not drinking are gone. Story 92. Biscuits with sausage gravy, thick-cut brown sugar caramelized bacon, a mix of fresh berries and whipped cream, and a loaf of fresh sourdough with Irish butter. Story 93. Side salad with ranch, medium rare sirloin, about 6 Logan's Roadhouse rolls, and a cold can of Dr. Pepper. Story 94. Spicy food, beans, and anything else that can cause digestive upset. Let everyone enjoy the aroma. Story 95. An entire sweet potato pie, a quarter of a watermelon, and a platter of Jamaican oxtail with cabbage and rice and peas. If they gave me that, I would practically do the execution myself to save them the trouble. Story 96. Can it come from anywhere? Because the Coco's Curry House in Japan is very good. Please give me the chicken katsu curry level 7 with cheese and some garlic naan bread. I would also like some of the pickled vegetables on the tables. Story 97. A butcher's cut from steak 48, Wagyu ribeye cap, with either garlic mashed potatoes or truffle fries, green beans or spinach, and sautéed mushrooms, paired with Woodford Reserve Manhattans. If I'm allowed dessert, I would like chocolate molten lava cake and vanilla ice cream. Story 98. Starter. Baked camembert with crusty bread. Main, medium to well-done ribeye steak with peas and creamy mashed potatoes, accompanied by a small side of macaroni and cheese. Dessert. Cheesecake. I might face some difficulties as I can't afford this meal at all. It's unfortunate. Story 99. I haven't eaten processed food, carbohydrates, sugar, or soda in years. I used to enjoy a lot of those foods. Pasta, probably tortellini Alfredo with grilled chicken and sun-dried tomatoes, extra soupy. Then there was a Wendy's Baconator with extra mayonnaise and ketchup, and 1 or 2 Jamaican beef patties with habanero hot sauce, a Big Mac with extra fries, New York meatball pizza, and a New York deli ham and Swiss sandwich on a hero with shredded lettuce, oil, and vinegar. Chips Ahoy cookies with unlimited ice-cold tall glasses of milk, mint chocolate chip ice cream, and cinnamon buns with extra icing and brown sugary stuffing between the layers. A bacon, egg, and cheese on a buttered brioche with mayonnaise and ketchup. Stuffed cabbage, Snickers, Whatchamacallit bars, Reese's Cups, and Twix. Watermelon and marshmallow jelly beans. A fish sandwich from Bermuda's Seaside Grill is the best. Sushi, I used to get about 5 specialty rolls and polish that off. I could go on for days. Nowadays, I eat seafood, prime beef, organic chicken, organic non-starchy vegetables, and foods like that. I've done it so long that I'm sickened by the thought of another steak. But I'm like a robot with my diet now. Story 100. Bibimbap, mapo tofu, pad thai, whitefish sushi, oxtail pho, and green tea ice cream. Maybe a lime shrimp dish and chilled honeydew with a vanilla pear sauce if I'm still hungry. Story 101. If I'm lynched, I would eat a lot of eggs so I could yell, "It's time for a break," while being hanged, and my body could sing one last time, a requiem for a tenor. Enjoyment would reduce the stress of my own death. Story 102. I, a type 1 diabetic, am asking for every piece of candy I can get my hands on and a massive steak. Story 103. Some good red port, not to get drunk but to enjoy, some aged Amsterdam cheese, and a generous dose of psilocybe cubensis, along with some cigarettes if possible. Story 104. Cedar plank grilled Great Lakes whitefish with homemade tartar sauce, fresh corn on the cob, ripe honeydew melon, and garlic bread. That meal is one I still remember as the best I have ever eaten. We were sitting outdoors, looking at the lake, surrounded by friends and family. It is probably my best memory. A close second would be a rare 8-ounce filet Oscar, topped with lump crab meat, asparagus, and béarnaise sauce, accompanied by cheesy potatoes. Story 105. Lamb shoulder cooked to perfection with a Dijon mustard base, served with stuffed wine leaves and zucchini, rice with vermicelli on the side, and a selection of Lebanese meze including hummus, moutable, mohamra, and tabbouleh, along with some grilled meat with garlic sauce. Enjoy a bottle of ice-cold cola and finish the meal with a shot of Iraq. Story 106. Honey hot boneless wings, well done, ranch dressing, a Dr. Pepper from McDonald's, and maybe a slice of pepperoni and black olive pizza. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.